Oh, snap. Live again on YouTube, The Mystery Project, on Rumble, The Mystery Project. Y'all make sure you subscribe, follow, and hit the thumbs up on both of those platforms. Welcome in. TikTok, we're over here. You've been live the whole time. TikTok, shout out. You guys get the pre-show every single day. I meant to hit this one, but I guess the pre-show could be good or bad. Who knows? But anyways, welcome in, y'all. We want to talk about Mica Miller. Been doing a lot of this case lately, and I saw that they said her family actually spoke out. So I was like, ooh, I want to know what her family is saying. So that's what we're gonna do. I hope you guys are ready. Thumbs up in the chat if you guys are ready. Who is ready to get started? I forgot to do one last thing, y'all. Bam, there we go. Okay, I should be able to see everything now. All right, perfect. Let's get ready to rumble. That's it. All right. Here we go. Yeah, the FBI got involved. We talked about that yesterday, Sunny Blue Eyes. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now in this one. Jenny, thanks for the hand heart. Very sweet. Y'all, we're trying to get 50 hand hearts. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Help support the show. All right. I'm going to shrink myself down on YouTube and let's get started. I believe this is her dad right here.
She got the weapon for self-protection. She told me days beforehand, Dad, I really feel like I need a weapon for protection. And she knows how to use it.
A South Carolina church pastor is facing serious scrutiny after his
serious scrutiny. Spastic Hawk, thanks for the
wife's sudden death in a nearby state park. And as new details come to life about her final days, her husband is getting more and more attention. We're joined by Michael Francis, Mica's father, and her sister Sierra Francis to talk about the young woman's passing and where legal action might take them in the future. Welcome to Side.
Ooh, they're going to file a wrongful claim. Sorry, I have to do that because we're on TikTok, y'all. You can't say all kinds of words on TikTok. There's all kinds of words on TikTok I can't say, but I bet you wrongful passing suit.
Ooh. Presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. What started out as this sudden and heartbreaking death announcement at the end of a church service has now taken all sorts of twists and turns, and it has morphed into a story that has captivated the nation. I'm talking about 30-year-old Mica Miller, who was found dead at Lumber River State Park just across the state line in North Carolina on April 27th. She had reportedly purchased a gun in the days before her apparent suicide from a pawn shop. That Sunday, her husband, 44-year-old John Paul Miller, announced his wife's death during a recent service at the church where he's a pastor, Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Miller announced, quote, I got a call late last night that my wife has passed away. It was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. You all pray for me and my kids and everybody. You all knew she wasn't well mentally, and she needed medicine that was hard to get to her. I'm sure there will be more details to come, but keep her family in your prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miller asked for people not to discuss his wife's death outside of the church, but as you can imagine, news spread like wildfire. And the woman's family has immediately become suspicious of this. Why? Well, John Paul Miller and his first wife, they divorced in 2015, and then he and Mica married in 2017. Mica's family says that John Paul, who's 14 years older than Mica, first met her when she was a member of his church youth group at age 14. Now, there have been accusations.
You what? JP, you met this girl when she was 14 years old?
How dare you?
That is creepy, bro.
What? That he groomed her. Not totally clear what exactly that means, but we'll explore it. Now, Mica was also reportedly married previously to John Paul's friend, Jeremy. So you see these apparent connections. Okay, but now we fast forward, and it's our...
Wait, Mica was married before to one of JP's friends? I didn't know that.
Our understanding, based on reporting...
Did y'all know that?
That Mica had filed for divorce from John Paul 6 months ago. It's also our understanding the divorce petition was withdrawn, but then a few days after that, John Paul filed for separate support and maintenance, financial support, because the couple were still legally married.
Oh, damn. Nurse KK, thanks for the hand hearts. Very sweet. Y'all, TikTok, as you're coming in, hit the follow button. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every single night. Welcome in. We're going to be talking about Mica Miller here first, and then we got some other cases to talk about as well. Take a second, tap the screen like crazy too. Let's get 25,000 likes. And y'all, if you want to see the video, because we've got the video playing also, if you want to watch the video with us, we're on YouTube and Rumble. Just search for The Mystery Project. Okay, or click my face up here. Go to the profile and then the YouTube button. Click that little thing. It'll take you right to The Mystery Project. But y'all, we're live on YouTube and on Rumble right now where you can actually see the videos. If you would like to watch the videos with us. All right, let's keep going.
Then Mica had also filed for separate support and maintenance. There was a scheduled hearing for next month, but of course Mica died. Mica's family claims that in the days before her death, she filed for a no-contact order. And I believe that she was still pursuing divorce against John Paul. Now, police and the medical examiner have ruled Mica's death a suicide. And one of the ways that they have ruled that is not only based on the forensic evidence at the scene, but a 911 phone call that was placed by Mica to law enforcement in North Carolina gives a lot of insight into her apparent state of mind. So I warn you, this is really tough to hear.
Robinson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Law, thank you.
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
A national park.
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Okay, ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
We've now learned that the Robeson County Sheriff's Office is requesting that the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI investigate Mica's death. Whether the FBI is actually involved yet kind of remains unclear. It may be more of a jurisdictional issue about why they could be involved because of where she died on a state park out in North Carolina. But as
Becca, thank you.
As I mentioned, Mica's family appears to be suspicious of
Lisa, I thought that same thing.
all of this. And one of the things to know
I thought that same thing.
is that John Paul does have a criminal record. Research indicates that in 1998, Miller entered a no-contest plea in Horry County, South Carolina, to a charge of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature, meaning that Miller did great bodily injury to someone or likely was going to injure someone. He was given 500 hours of community service, was put on probation for several years, and a 4-year prison sentence was suspended. In 2022, South Carolina court records indicate that Miller was pardoned. In 2000, out in Illinois, he apparently pled guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Jesus.
In 2000,
Way to go, dude. That's crazy as hell. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. I see a bunch of new people coming in. Tap the screen too, y'all. Let's get 25,000 likes. Tanzanite, good to see you. Thank you for the hand heart, y'all. Very much appreciated. This channel isn't monetized at all, other than the live gifts and the subscriptions. So if you want to support the show, you can. If not, totally fine. Come on in, hang out. I'm live every single night. But also, if you want to watch YouTube, you can watch the video along with us. Just search for The Mystery Project or click the link that's in the bio. You can find it, no problem. We got like 40 people watching on YouTube, and then we're live on Rumble too. And we got about 50-something people watching on Rumble. So y'all come on over.
out in Illinois, it appears that Miller was charged with domestic battery, but the prosecutors seemed to decline to move forward with the case and were unable to find sentencing information for that case. Now, in one of her final posts on Facebook, Mica uploaded a selfie, and she uploaded...
Oh, damn. Amy says, JP's attorney owns land backing up to the state park. Whoa!
That's suspicious. That's weird.
That's a little bit strange.
the selfie with the caption, "When terrible, terrible, terrible things happen to you, you all know what I'm talking about. RPF, rest in peace face." She included the hashtags still blessed and God is good. She also been posting videos on her social media talking about leaving abusive situations.
It doesn't matter what gender you are, abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage.
Entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok overlords. There's words you can't say, and I'm fairly certain that was one of them.
And pain.
According to a friend, Mica had left for a different church other than Solid Rock. John Paul gave an interesting, perhaps the best word to describe it is an arguably strange eulogy, different eulogy at the...
Oh, yeah. He said he tried to raise her from the dead.
You what?
John Paul, that is not a good look, bro.
Solid Rock Church, while family members held a different memorial service at the beach.
She'd get tourists to take our picture, and I say, okay, thank you. She said, oh, no, this isn't good. Give it back to them, and they do it again, you know. But she told me that she was so creative. Everything she did was so creative. What's the next picture? What's the next picture? She'd stop. We'd be on the way to like a show or something. She'd say, stop, I got to get a picture. I said, we're going to be late. She said, I don't care.
What? Man, that is crazy as hell. I hadn't heard him talk. That dude sounds crazy as hell. And I already know what y'all want. Y'all want me to hit the button. Thumbs up in the chat. All right, I'll hit it.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
I'm no police interrogator, but it sounds a little silly. Let's continue. I don't know. Y'all hit the follow button. Hit the follow button if you're new here at TikTok. My name is Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every night. Keep tapping the screen too, y'all. We hit 25,000. Let's get 50,000. Thank you for all the support, y'all. And come over to YouTube. Just search the Mystery Project or click the link in the bio. All right, let's go. Let's start it over because that was a lot to listen to.
She was so creative. Everything she did was so creative. What's the next picture? What's the next picture? She'd stop. We'd be on the way to like a show or something. She'd say, stop, I got to get a picture. I said, we're going to be late. She said, I don't care. What's the next picture? Next picture.
John Paul also said that he wanted so badly for her to be alive that he repeatedly tried to see her body and even tried to raise her from the dead.
You what?
There were reports that Reverend Charles Randall fired Miller as Solid Rock's pastor, but Randall disputed that during a recent sermon, saying, quote, I have released him from ministerial functions for a minute to get some healing and some counseling and some guidance.
Ministerial functions.
You can't go through these things like this and just step right back on the same day. Family and friends have started using the hashtag Justice for Mica. Now, it's our understanding Mica's sister Sierra, who we're going to be speaking with in a minute, has filed a legal claim against both Miller and the church in connection with Mica's death. Court documents filed in Horry County Family Court accuse Solid Rock Church of colluding and conspiring with John Paul to defraud and deprive Mica. The Daily Mail also reported that Mica contacted the Myrtle Beach Police Department on April 8th, just weeks before her death, to report that she had seen a lewd photo of herself in a Facebook group and believed her estranged husband, John Paul Miller, had posted it.
And then he sent her an email saying, oh, I'm so sorry I did that. I didn't mean to. I took it down within an hour.
You what?
Huh? Are you crazy as hell for that? Crazy as hell. Y'all keep tapping the screen like crazy. Hit the follow button if you're new here. My name is Patrick.
Well, after her death,
if you like true crime,
Miller admitted that he did post the photo. In a letter obtained by News Nation, seemingly addressed to Mica, it reads, quote, I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than 1 hour and immediately taken down. I was hurt that you were telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try and hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that. Mica had also reported back in March that she found a tracking device on her car at least twice and said that John Paul had her involuntarily committed to a hospital and stole her car while she was gone. Now, in a statement, John...
What? What the fuck?
Dear God. Man, this is crazy as hell. Y'all, thanks for the follows. Thank you for the follows.
Paul Miller's lawyer, Russell Long, said, quote, "It has come to light that Mica Miller struggled with mental illness, specifically bipolar disorder, which when not properly managed led to paranoid episodes and self-destructive behavior. Some reports made by her in the recent past are nonsensical." He also added that a ruling of suicide by law enforcement completely exonerates Pastor Miller of any wrongdoing. Well,
I mean, for the time being, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe, play the devil's advocate, right? Because I know everybody's like, oh, hell no, this is crazy as hell. Like, what are the odds, right? But I don't know. I mean, it seems a little strange.
joined right.
Let's keep going. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen, 50,000 likes. Thanks for the hand hearts. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. Come over to YouTube, y'all. The Mystery Project on YouTube and the Mystery Project on Rumble. You can see the video. You can watch the video along with us. Put it up on your TV and then stay in the TikTok chat on your phone. That's the secret sauce right there. All right, let's keep going.
Now, by Micah's father, Michael Francis. Thank you so much for coming on. And before we even get started, I just have to say I am so sorry for your loss, your family's loss. And as I mentioned to you before we started recording, I know this can't be easy talking about this and having this amplified and everybody speaking about it. So I know this must be a very difficult time. So my heart goes out to you and your family, and really appreciate you taking the time to come here and talk a little bit more about it.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to start off. How are you and the family doing right now?
We're struggling. We're more united than ever as a family. This is something that has really caused us to drop any little petty arguments or something and focus on what's important at this moment. So, we have grieved off and on, but we've also been in fight mode off and on, as far as legally and speaking out for Mica.
Let's talk about that, because I want to be very clear here. Despite the findings from law enforcement that Mica had died by her own hand, that the sheriff's office saying John Paul was not in Robeson County when Mica died, do you believe there is more to the story, correct?
Yes, it's there's a lot of details that they did not cover, and because it was equivalent in their eyes to previous self-inflicted wounds, I believe the law allows them to do less work. It does not prevent them from doing more work. And since there were multiple shell casings found and a live round found, it already didn't make much sense. So it would seem that they would automatically do a complete toxicology, not just blood alcohol, and a complete autopsy, which they did not do. And we're just devastated that they didn't, because John Paul rushed the cremation process. During the briefing, we pressed pretty hard for more information and such, and the sheriff's office was trying to compress the briefing for us, and then they gave us a flash drive. It doesn't sound like Mica during the 911 call. She's so slow and so, but then later there are, I haven't even heard them myself, honestly. I have someone who's going through all that for me and filtering the information, because otherwise the more information I get that sounds off, the more furious I get, and I need to be able to focus and control my emotions. But there was screaming going on and such, and that's not something indicative of a self-inflicted, sounds like a fight. And with the bruising on her hands and on her arm, scratches on her hands, indicating defensive wounds. So very frustrating.
What?
Damn.
When you say
he said they found multiple casings from firearms. What? Oh my God.
Defensive wounds. Is that something that was told to you by a medical professional when you talked about multiple casings there? Where did you get this information? And when you brought this information to law enforcement or brought it or mentioned to them, what did they say?
Okay, as far as finding out, the park ranger took us back to the scene and pointed out, here's where she would have been standing. Here's where the shell casings and the live round were, which also doesn't make sense. She knew how to use a weapon. She got the weapon for self-protection. She told me days beforehand, Dad, I really feel like I need a weapon for protection. And she knows how to use it. She's qualified. She's been through training. She's not going to charge the weapon and eject a live round. She already knows the first rule of gun, use is knowing the condition of the gun. So we got the information about the shells. I did it directly from the park ranger.
Damn. Y'all, what do you think? Poll the audience right now. Thumbs up in the chat if you think that there's more to this story and potentially JP or like something's going on. Thumbs up if you think something's going on there that we don't yet know about. Thumbs down. No, totally fine. It is what it is and case closed. Just check it out. And by the way, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every single night. Look, most sent, thumbs up. Oh, I didn't know it does that. Way to go, TikTok. That's a good idea right there. Y'all hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. We got 50,000 likes. Let's get 75. And y'all, thanks for the love and the support. You don't have to do that, but it is appreciated. Come over to YouTube if you want to watch the video along with us too. The Mystery Project link is in the bio. Aaliyah, thank you. Very sweet. Thank you so much. All right, let's do it. Well, that's a massive amount of thumbs up. I don't even think I saw one single thumbs down. So, dear Lord.
And then when we brought that up to law enforcement, they just said, well, they had no answer. They really just had no answer why, any kind of, not even a speculation. They didn't even say, well, she probably did this, probably did that. They just said, this is what we have. And there is what would be an apparent bullet hole in a tree, which I have a picture of. And
whoa, Desiree, thank
they
you.
just didn't seem to put the effort forth. So we're very disappointed in that.
And the defensive wounds, was that from the park ranger too?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we looked at her hands during the viewing. We took pictures of her from the viewing. It was the worst day of my life. And she had scratches on her arms on her hand. And the coroner in training had the chief coroner with her, but she spoke out and said, well, maybe that's from when they retrieved her from the water. And I said, okay, of course, maybe. Was there blood in those scratches and such? They had no answer. Very disappointing. So I basically said the scratches indicate some type of scuffle or something, because
Gracie, thank you. Nancy B, thank you.
The area where she was, there was no trees or anything anyway. There was no trees in the water. There was nothing there that would have scratched her hands the way they were. This. So, it's
very strange.
So
yeah, this is her dad talking, Sarah.
It indicated that there was, some type of pressure. That's where the bruise was, and just,
Well, Michael, here's the thing. And I hate to ask you this, and I know it must be difficult to revisit it, but when you mentioned the 911 phone call, when that came out, I think a lot of people who were suspecting there might be something there, they were convinced that that was the end of the story. When you mentioned that 911 phone call, you said there's something about the way that Mica sounded on the phone that sounded odd to you. What do you mean by
absolutely.
that?
Very slow speech. She's a very happy-go-lucky, excitable person.
Is that is that what people think? Because I've seen all kinds of rumors and speculation, but people think that it's some kind of like AI version of her. Is that right? Is that what people are saying? Because when I heard it, I hadn't heard her speak, right? But I mean, it sounds weird. It doesn't sound like a person how they would talk if that, you know what I mean? Like something sounded bizarre. Something really did. But I don't know. Let's keep going. By the way, TikTok, hit the follow button. We got almost 1,000 people on TikTok tonight, y'all. Good to see you guys. My name's Patrick. If you like a little true crime, I'm live every night. My name's Patrick. I'm live every single night. So hit the follow button if you like true crime. We talk about current cases, past cases, everything in between. I appreciate you guys being here. If you want to watch the videos too, come over to YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project on YouTube and Rumble. If you want to find the link, it's in the bio too. Just click my face, that YouTube button, click it, come on over and hang out and watch the videos with us.
And
let's keep going. And thanks for the hand hearts, y'all. You don't have to do that.
It was too slow. It was very slow. It was metered. It could have been done with an AI type of previous recordings where somebody would have had.
Bam. Even the dads. Yo, I don't watch these before I go live. I watch them for the first time with y'all. So even the dad is saying it sounds like some kind of AI something.
Those words from her previously or, whatever. And so it just doesn't make sense that he wouldn't go up there.
Do you have a theory as to what happened? Because authorities are saying, they crossed out his alibi of where he was. Do you have a theory as to what happened? And again, I know this is sensitive, so if you don't want to share it, I understand. But do you have a theory as to what you believe happened to your daughter?
Okay, well, I'll share what we spoke to about with the authorities, the sheriff in North Carolina. Also, as far as with his location, we've seen pictures of his truck. It had dark windows. Was it even him in there? Where's pictures of him physically there? We haven't seen those. They've not been produced. If someone else has them, we would like to see them to prove that he was there, because otherwise it could be anybody in that truck. So the theory would be that because she had multiple tracking devices put on.
Wait a second. That's his alibi too? Is that his truck, like he was there, but they can't see into the truck to see if it was actually him in the damn truck? Oh my goodness.
You what?
This is crazy. The license plates were switched. Oh my God. This is crazy, y'all. It's like it doesn't. Something's going to happen. Something's going to come out.
Our car previously.
Let's keep going.
That she was followed out to the park or forced to go out to the park. And they either follow her out there or there's no reason for her to go out there. That's the main point as well. She's never been out there. We don't go up there. It's not a family spot. And she was off the trail enough into a park ranger only area that nobody knows about. And so the theory would be that she was either tracked, and then they said, well, we didn't find a tracking device. Well, they could have removed it at the park. When the car was at the park and then it was collected by the authorities, they didn't check for a tracker, which blew my mind. They said, oh, we have all the evidence and everything. We asked them, was there a tracker on her car? And they said, well, we didn't check. And we were flabbergasted. This happened over and over during that interview. Why didn't you check that? We know
that is pretty damn crazy.
That there was 3 or 4 trackers put on her vehicles. Why wouldn't you check to see if she was followed? They said, oh, there's no cameras, but we know she wasn't followed. Her car is just out here. And I said, well, there's no trackers.
You what?
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
They said no tracker. I said, well, they could have removed it after they did the deed. So then Mica's mother, Angelita, she said, pretend this is Mica's hand. And she asked me, grab this hand. And then she pulled it up, and said, it looks like someone squeezed her hand and raised it up and shot. And there are defensive wounds from it and such. And that's the general idea of our theory, that somebody crushed her hand to hold the gun up to her head while she's fighting. Either them or someone else held her other hand or her other arm back because there's bruising on it from squeezing. And they forced it to look like that was self-inflicted. And a couple of rounds went off during the scuffle. One ejected was live, and then it finally happened the way they would want it to happen. And
whoa, y'all. Do you think, thumbs up in the chat, what do y'all think about that? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no. I mean, somebody just said that's horrifying, and I couldn't agree more. Dear God, can you imagine if that is actually what happened? I mean, how terrifying. You'd be literally fighting for your life, knowing that what it would look like if they are able to pull that off. Oh my God. That is so freaking sad. All right, let's keep going. By the way, 1,100 people watching on TikTok. Shout out to, calm down, sound bank. 1,200 now. Y'all, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every single night. Every night. Welcome in. You can come watch the video with us over on YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project. Keep tapping the screen like crazy, y'all. I appreciate the support. This channel is not monetized at all, so other than the live gifts and the subscriptions. So shout out to everybody that comes in. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love and the support. I'm live every night because of y'all. So huge shout out. Thank you so much. And let's keep going. This is her dad. This is Mica's dad talking, y'all. Thanks for all those follows.
then dumped her in the water,
And Stephanie, thank you,
probably
man. All right, Baby Bear, thank you.
40 meters away from where the shell casings in the gun was found. The water doesn't flow there. It's a slough. It's still. It just sinks. And it actually flows when it sinks, when it recesses, it goes the other direction from where she was found. So her body, even if it was put in the water right there, would not have flowed the direction where she was found. It would flow the other way. So it would be possible that the incident occurred right there, and the shell casings, and then the gun was dumped in the water right there, and then she was carried farther 40 meters.
She was moved
Back into a little bit more secluded area where she was found.
So Sierra Francis now joins the conversation. This is Mica's sister. Sierra, thank you so much for coming on. As I told your father, I just want to say again, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for what you and your family are going through. Our hearts go out to you guys. And again, really appreciate you taking the time and being so generous with your time to come on and talk a little bit more about this. So I've already spoken to your father a lot about what you guys believe might have happened here. I want to talk to you about this legal claim that you have filed against Mr. Miller and the church. Walk us through what that claim is and what you're hoping to get from that.
As far as the legal side of things, I don't have perfect details of everything. I'm just trying to pick up where Mica left off and make sure that justice is served and that we are able to remain over her estate and make sure that it is used or allotted in the way that she would have wanted it to.
Amen to that. Peace love, Huey. Thank you for the rumble rant. Fisherman saw a couple in a boat coming from the direction of the shots attacked in TikTok. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. Yo, thank you for all the tags too. I've been tagged in so many videos about this one. Like, I try to get through them all, but y'all, if you see something you're like, Patrick, check this out, just tag me in it. Absolutely. And shout out. Thanks for the rumble rant. Very sweet.
Do you know anything about the FBI being a part of this investigation now? Were
Good
you told
question.
anything about that, what they might be looking into?
So we are aware that Robeson County did come out and say that the FBI is involved, but as far as what they're investigating and the extent of their involvement, the family's not sure.
Okay. I wanted to ask you this, both of you this. So look, the main argument, and it's being put forward by Mr. Miller, and what we've seen is Mica, they say, had suffered from mental illness. Do you know anything about that? Anything you could tell us about that? Because one of the things that Mr. Miller has said is he had this power of attorney set up for that reason. What can you tell us about what Mica might have been going through?
So before Mica married John Paul, she had no signs, no history, no indications of mental illness at all.
And why did she presume?
What the fuck? Oh my God. Totally crazy. And this is just, speculation. I'm just speculating here, y'all. Think about it. he finds this girl, or just maybe not he, right? Just someone finds a girl that's young, 14 years old, let's say, and is like, ooh, and their whole time tells them this and that, and then they end up being like intimately together, and then, oh, you have this problem, you have this issue, you have this issue, that you are mentally unstable, you're that, you're this, you're the for years and years and decades, right? A decade, right? What? I mean, seriously, that shit happens all the time, unfortunately, that people, it's like you tell somebody something enough times, and they're like, well, shit, maybe I do. Oh my God. But for her family to come out and say that she never had any diagnosis of anything, she had no signs, symptoms, nothing of mental illness. That's huge, y'all. Brainwash, exactly. That's huge. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every night. Click the orange heart up next to my name there, y'all, and keep tapping the screen. Let's get 100,000 likes. We got enough people now, y'all, 1,300. And make sure you guys come over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's The Mystery Project on YouTube. And you can actually see the video that we're watching over there. So click the link that's in the bio, y'all. Come over, join the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm live on TikTok, YouTube, and Rumble every night, 9 p.m. Pacific time. So literally whatever time it is right now is usually when I go live, but I started early. So, all right, let's keep going.
Presumably agree to a power of attorney. Usually the person who sets up would have to agree to it and sign to it.
He had every way to control her, and he was very good at manipulating the situation.
And she thought that he would be doing the right thing. She wanted to trust that Mr. Miller Jr. was actually doing the right thing for them, until she got away from him and had more time, when she spent more time with us, to peel off some of those layers and realize what was going on. And then she started becoming herself again and got a job and everything else, and was doing fine, and was happy-go-lucky self again, excited about the future, and which is something he did not like. Just very terrible.
There are these allegations that he groomed her. What do we mean by that?
He had his sights set on her from a very young age. I would guess probably 14 years old, 14 or 15 when we first.
You what? JP, that's a whole thing right there. Delinda, thanks for the hand heart. Very sweet. Y'all, I appreciate that.
First came to the church. And he made sure that he kept her exactly where he wanted her, to the point of who she married, what job she picked up after she was, 18. He got her married, and then he made her his secretary and his babysitter and his let's go to lunch person, and oh, you're so beautiful.
And then when she was married, same thing, best friends with her husband, her previous husband, and manipulated the situation where he could have him doing something because he was his right-hand man, and then spend time with Mica alone.
Bruh. That's suspicious. That's weird.
So he had this girl since she was 14 doing things, right? Allegedly. Then she marries his best friend, and they're saying that even the friend could have been in on whatever the hell was going on. And then she divorces the friend, marries him, and then now she has all these mental issues, and she takes her own life just because. What the hell is going on? I have you know what, y'all? Damn, who is going crazy right now? Tracy, thank you so much. Very sweet of you. I have a very haunting suspicion that here pretty soon, JP might be hearing this. FBI, open up! Like something seems. And here's the other thing too. Y'all. The true crime community, like we're not often wrong. You know what I mean? Like sometimes if it's like split where it's like, oh my God, like half the people are like, no, they're innocent, and the other half the people are like, no, guilty as hell, right? It's like, okay, well, let's see. Let's let the jury decide and see what happens. But like like we all, like when Lori Vallow was on trial, right? And then we started hearing like what the forensic pathologist said about how Tyler and JJ were found, and then we all just went, what the fuck? And we went, this is over for her, right? Like we were like, okay, she's done, right? Like she did it. And we all kind of united around that, right? I feel like we're kind of in the same boat here. We're all like, something is weird here. Something isn't quite lining up. I don't know. Maybe he had nothing to do with it. Maybe he had everything to do with it. We don't know for sure yet. We're not these people, but JP, I'm telling you, if you did,
How dare you?
that is some insanely, like vilely, like vile effed up shit that you did there. Like sickening. Absolutely sickening. Anyways, okay, y'all, let's get back in. We got other cases to talk about after this as well. Make sure you hit the follow button, y'all. Tap the screen like crazy. Thank you for hitting the hand hearts and all that stuff. You don't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. Oh, and Cheryl, thanks for going off the grid. I appreciate you. Cheryl, thank you so much for a little Cash App love right there too. Thank you. Very sweet.
Which is very inappropriate.
And to be clear about that, are you alleging that he engaged in criminal contact with Mica? And if so, again, my understanding is there's no time bar in South Carolina to bring charges. Is this something that you're speaking with about authorities with?
I don't think he physically had a relationship with her until after she had already been married to Jeremy.
I wanted to ask you about something else. And
yeah, but even still, you don't have to have a physical, but you could, I mean, he could have been saying things. Delinda, thank you for the hearts. Very sweet. Y'all hit the follow button if you're new here.
This goes back to that idea of why he says, and correct me if I'm wrong, why he says he had to set up the power of attorney. He was concerned about whether Mica would be taking money, because there was this allegation that Mica was a suspect in the theft of $1,200 in donations for the Solid Rock, this missionary efforts. I understand you want to clear the record up on that.
That was investigated. I have seen, police excerpts on that, and from what I've seen, to best of my knowledge, it said that that was just a domestic dispute, and there was no criminal charges to be filed.
Okay, and also, as far as the amount that was mentioned, Mica was having trouble with the websites releasing the money to her from the donations,
such as Venmo or stuff like that.
Right. They were holding on to those funds, as they do, for like the 3-day period or whatever, and gaining interest. And so during that period where the money didn't show up yet, he was accusing her of stealing that money. And then after the fact, after she's passed, all the money showed back in except 1 penny.
Not to mention that the money wasn't money that was donated and she was stealing it. This money was, hey, I've put $600 out of my pocket with the intention of, hey, I will be reimbursed from this, because that's what she was told. Hey, spend your $600 to purchase, all the donuts that you're using for fundraising. It's a charity. We'll make sure we reimburse you. So it's not even stealing. It's reimbursement for what she's already put into.
Right.
And before I let you go, I have to ask you about this letter that came out that he had seemingly apologized to Mica for what he said was releasing a nude photograph of her on the internet. What was your reaction to that letter?
Yeah, that is crazy as hell too.
He's a faker.
Yeah.
He likes to band-aid everything so he can still control and manipulate people.
I told him straight up, because of his behavior before, okay, now go ahead and go cry in front of your church and apologize like you always do. Mm-hmm. And he didn't during the sermon and his bombshell drop at the last point. He didn't do his fake sniveling, crying, fake stuff. He just, until later, but he would.
Yeah, that was hard to listen to, y'all. We might listen to that part again, because that was crazy.
Numerous times he would go in front of the church and say, I'm sorry, I did this and I did that. I'm sorry. If you don't want me to be the pastor, I'll leave. And they would say, oh, no, you do such a great job. And then it would happen again and again
Right.
And
again,
if they did stand up against him, he would
Actually, this is her dad, Micah's dad, and her sister talking.
he would threaten them
Yeah.
with removing them from the church, or he would just straight out remove them in front of everybody. And then later
I posted a video too about what's going on in his church. Like the people in his church, they started coming out saying some things. Y'all, it's the last. I think it's the last video I posted, either the last one or the one before that. Crazy.
in sermons said, "Oh well, they just left for no reason. I don't know why they left."
Michael, Sierra.
I don't know anything that comes out of his mouth. It's all backwards.
Well, Michael, Sierra, here's what I wanted to ask you. This is going to be an ongoing discussion. And
Right? Dear Lord. Y'all, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. We hit 100,000 likes. What the hell? Let's get 150,000, y'all. Tap the screen like crazy. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And come over to TikTok, or come over to YouTube and Rumble, y'all. Just search the Mystery Project. Shout out to Tracy. Thank you for donating through the link tree. Very sweet. Thank you so much for the off the grid love. You guys are amazing.
And I was hoping, and first of all, thank you for being so forthcoming to come on to explain this, give your perspective on what's happening. As this progresses, can we keep an open line, and can you come back on and let us know any updates that are happening on your end? We would really appreciate it, because I think a lot of people have questions about this.
Sure. As long as our attorneys are in agreement and such, and
Sure.
we will keep it open, and most likely that would be us.
Okay, so listen, again, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate this. And again, my heart goes out to you and your family about this loss, and I'm so sorry for what you're going through. But again, really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Y'all, that is pretty crazy. This whole story is there. I mean, something just doesn't make sense, right? I mean, it's something so weird. Something is weird. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, we're gonna move on to another case now, y'all. This one sounds crazy too. A Pennsylvania child told police that her mother and father were doing things, and now they face more than a dozen charges. What? Yeah. So here we go. This sounds crazy as hell. I forgot to put I forgot to get the picture, y'all. Hang on, sorry. But let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Unfreaking. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me do this real quick, y'all. Let me do this real quick. By the way, tap the screen like crazy. Hit the follow button if you enjoy true crime. TikTok. We are live every single night. My name's Patrick. Shout out to the crew that's in here. Lala, thanks for the heart me's. Y'all, thanks for the gifts. You do not have to do that, but it is appreciated. Thank you so much for the love and the support. It helps me go live every night. It helps me go live each and every night, but you obviously do not have to do that. Okay, hang on one second. Let me send this over. TikTok is going to pause just for a second. Take that time to come over and hang out on the YouTube channel if you want. Search for The Mystery Project. The Mystery Project, y'all. And YouTube and Rumble, don't worry, I got you guys. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, these two. These two. And let me put up. There you go, y'all. That's what you shoot for. That's what you search for on YouTube. Adrian, you got a new follower. Thank you so much. Y'all, I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. All right, let's go. Let's move on. Let's keep talking about this case now. Let's see what's happening here.
A Pennsylvania man and woman are facing some of the most shocking charges involving a young child under the age of 13. We are going to be digging into how police were able to track down the accused rapists with former sex crimes prosecutor Sarena Townsend. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The case that we're about to explain, I will tell you right now, is one of the most heinous that we have ever reported here on Sidebar. And that is not something
Oh, no.
I say lightly. In fact, the affidavit of probable cause is so disturbing that we can't show you the vast majority of it. But what we are going to do is try to bring you as much detail as we can, as much context as we can to you. What this is a very sick story, and I apologize right now for what we're about to say. But these two people that I'm about to mention are now locked up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, each on $1 million bail. 56-year-old John James DeHart and 35-year-old Sarah Lee Miller, who also goes by the name Sarah Souter. They are accused of raping their own child. The two were charged back on...
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Man, what is going on in this world? Just send the asteroid, Lord. Send the asteroid. This is getting crazy as hell. TikTok, it's not y'all in the chat, but the overlords. Entertainment and educational purposes only.
April 16th, DeHart was arrested just a couple days later in Philadelphia. Police put out the word that they were looking for Miller, and she was arrested May 8th. Her last known address was in Luzerne County. According to what is a truly stomach-turning criminal complaint, both DeHart and Miller are accused of sexually abusing their child.
Oh,
yes,
my God.
Their child. Before I get into this any further, I want to bring in former sex crimes prosecutor Sarena Townsend. Sarena, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Just when you think child abuse can't get any worse, now the idea of parents sexually abusing
Dear God,
their own children in an incest form of, I don't know what the right word is.
Disgusting, vile.
I'm curious, have you ever seen or heard anything like this in your career?
I have. It is rare because this
Oh my God
is, as you said, the most heinous type of crime one could ever imagine. It's bad enough to have a child sex victim, but for it to be somebody's own child, and in this case, both parents abusing and raping this child, it really is almost unheard of. It's horrifying. And there is a reason why there are separate laws, not only for rape, but for child abuse and for incest in and of itself.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, yes, there's a reason.
TikTok, overlords, entertainment and educational purposes only. This is a true crime channel. It's really hard when we're listening to these cases to, I mean, they're going to they're arrested for it. TikTok overlords.
We have these laws because it does happen. It's just
they're going to burn in hell for that.
Unthinkable. I want to go through this with you, and we'll talk about it. Let me talk to you about how the abuse came to light back in December of 2023. This is when an apparent witness reported to Manor Township Police that the assaults had taken place in nearby East Hempfield Township. Now, the detective stated that during a Lancaster County Children's Alliance forensic interview, a declaration was made by witness number one. This person's not identified, but it says witness number one stated that the victim number one was previously sexually abused by the defendant, John DeHart. And after the witness came forward, the police did a forensic interview with the victim. So Sarena, first, talk to.
Oh my God, Crystal, thank you for the off the grid. Very sweet. Thank you so much for the love, you guys.
Tell me about what you think of a witness came forward, who you think that could be in relation to this victim, and is that usually how this happens? And then talk to me about what exactly is a forensic interviews and how an interview and how that works.
Sure. Yes. So what we see very often in child abuse cases, sexual abuse cases, is a delayed outcry. Delayed outcry is essentially a legal term for a child who was sexually abused or raped and did not tell anybody for quite some time. This is very, very common for obvious reasons. The child is confused. The child is scared. Obviously, oftentimes the child is living with the person because sadly, we know that sexual abuse of children usually happens by somebody that the child knows. It's rare that it's the actual parent, and it's horrifying, but usually it is somebody that the child knows, and therefore the child usually does not disclose the sexual activity or the rape until much later. oftentimes whoever finds out about it is also either a relative or a teacher or somebody that the child has grown to trust, even a friend. So this witness, this mysterious witness, could possibly be another relative or a teacher, or again, a friend that perhaps this person trusts.
And
damn,
forensic interviews, those are very sensitive. How do those work?
Very sensitive. There is a specific sort of training that's required to interview successfully a person who was so badly traumatized as a child. What happens when you are raped, especially when you're a child, is you kind of encode those memories differently, and your ability to retell what happened to you is very different than somebody who was, maybe robbed as an adult or assaulted at a bar or
oh my God, Burning Ember, thank you.
something like that. So a forensic interview is one where a specialized detective who's taken specialized training knows how to ask you certain types of questions in a certain type of way to make you comfortable and for you to be able to access those traumatizing memories.
Let's talk about those memories. Going through this court filing, it says, quote, victim number 1 stated that they were sexually, physically, and emotionally abused by their whole blood father, who they identified as the defendant, John DeHart. Victim
What the fuck?
Oh, you can burn in hell for that one.
number 1 was asked who John DeHart was to them, and they responded with, not a really great person. Victim number 1 stated that the sexual abuse occurred from the age of blank until the age of blank, when victim number 1 was separated from the defendant in 2013. So the complaint has the numbers redacted, but reporting indicates that the victim was between the ages of 4 and 6. Process that for a second. 4 and 6. In Sara Miller's affidavit paperwork, it names her instead of DeHart. Otherwise, the affidavit is
This is the mom. So dad, mom.
nearly the same. So both the mother and the father are allegedly complicit in this abuse. And the criminal complaint goes into graphic detail about what the child's parents forced them to do. Again, I'm not going to get into it, but there are a few
Oh my God.
parts of the affidavit that stand out, and I want to get Serena's perspective on it. So the affidavit states, quote, victim number 1 stated that a form of punishment was that they would be escorted to the basement and told to sit by the door. The lights, which were previously on, would then be turned out. Victim number 1 reported that when they were in the basement, they would be without clothing for approximately 1 to 2 hours. Victim number 1 stated that the punishment would end by John unlocking the basement door and providing victim number 1 with clothes. Victim number 1 also...
What the hell kind of crazy shit are you talking about? Oh my God, you're sick, dude. Jeep Angel, thank you.
reported that on one occasion in the basement, victim number 1 was unclothed and John pointed a small gun at them. John reportedly told victim number 1, this is a warning, when pointing the gun at victim number 1 for approximately 5 seconds.
What in the hell? You will... They can put you under the jail.
Sarena, your reaction.
Yeah, listen, as traumatizing as the rape is in and of itself, you don't even need to ask whether this poor child was, consented. There is no such thing as consent when this child is as young as this child was. But then to add on the absolute torture of being locked in a basement while naked, being, threatened at gunpoint by your own father. I mean, I don't know how this child comes back from this. It is the worst kind of thing that could ever happen to a person. And, the defendants are going to be facing, hopefully, a very long time in prison for what they did. This is above and beyond.
A very long time? What? You mean the rest of their miserable lives?
Beyond sexual depravity. This is absolute torture.
Yeah, this is let me at him. Let me at him. Allegedly TikTok and YouTube and Rumble. Allegedly. Ooh. You want to lock somebody in a basement, dude? Put me in the basement with you. Anytime. What's his name? I don't even care. I don't want to know. I don't want to know his name. John? Something like that. Come on, John. You want to lock somebody in the basement? Lock me in the basement. See if you can see what happens, you sick piece of garbage. Getting warm, y'all. Getting hot in here. Getting hot in here. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. We got 130,000. Let's get 150,000 likes. Thank you for all the live gifts. You don't have to do that, but it is appreciated. We're trying to get some little hearts right there. Y'all hit me with those hearts. I need to cool down. Because this is going to piss me off.
Unfortunately, there were other children who also lived in this home. So victim number 2 and victim number 3 seem to have escaped sexual abuse, at least according to the criminal complaints, but they were still allegedly subject to physical and emotional abuse. It reads, quote, on Thursday, March 28th, 2024, victim number 2 and victim number 3 were forensically interviewed separately. Victim number 2 reported that John picked them up and took them over to the oven in the kitchen as if John was going to put them inside. Victim number 3 stated that they were standing in the corner of the kitchen and John picked them up and said something along the lines of, "Who wants to be my dinner?" The affidavit narrative ends with a heartbreaking statement after the victim described,
"You gonna burn for that one in hell, though, not a oven." Nurse KK, thank you for the hearts.
an assault in the shower. Victim number 1 stated that Sarah kept explaining that what was happening in the shower was normal and not to be scared. Victim number 1 stated that since it was their mother saying these things, they believed her. You know, Sarena, I know
What the fuck?
these are just allegations, but wow. I mean, that alleged psychological manipulation is to another level.
It
That's
is,
disgusting.
and that's why this is really almost completely unheard of. It's monstrous. These people took, the most beautiful thing that you could be as a parent, a mother or a father, and you would think that they would treat their children like royalty, like what they should be treated, and they took what would normally be a beautiful experience and turned it into a living nightmare for their children. It can't be understated. It's the worst thing that could possibly ever happen. A child trusting their mother, trusting their father that, what they're exposing them to is normal, is okay.
And that happens, right? That happens. The victim is made to believe that it's your fault or this is normal. And that psychological trauma can sometimes, right, be harder to recover from than the actual physical trauma.
Absolutely. It is quite telling.
Jesus. Venomous, thank you.
I
Thanks for the follows, too.
did a little bit of research on this individual, on John DeHart, and it seemed like he'd had a past. With
We're going to get into that. We're going to save that because we're going to get into that too.
Sure.
But this also the threats, putting them in the oven, this level of punishment. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Lori,
Hopefully
thank
you
you.
haven't, but I don't know.
I've seen a lot in
Lori, thank you so much.
my career, and I really have not seen anything like this. I can't explain it. Nobody can explain it. Hopefully this is hopefully something that almost never happens, and we have to treat it like that. They have to be, if this did happen, punished accordingly.
By the way, you don't have just victims. You have other witnesses here, right? So every one of these victims who are testifying, who are providing this information in forensic interviews, separated, right? So they're separated from one another. It's not like they can, and that's important, right?
That's right. So with these forensic interviews, you have to be extremely delicate and make sure that you don't have one person in the room with other people so that they could be influenced by the story. If these forensic interviews are happening correctly and these individuals are telling the same story but separately, then it smacks of the truth. I mean, it lends credibility to the storyteller.
You talked about the charges. Let's talk about them. So there's specific charges that DeHart and Miller are facing. DeHart faces 15 charges. Miller's charged with 13.
Jesus. Oh, my God. TikTok, I don't even think, if he reads these, I don't think it's, TikTok's going to be like, what the hell?
DeHart include 2 counts of rape, 2 counts of sexual assault, 2 counts of involuntary intercourse with, counts of an assault of a person less than 13 years of age, 1 count of corruption of minors, 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, 1 count of terroristic threats,
Oh,
information
God.
that accompanies the statute for rape of a child. The criminal complaint says that the defendant forced victim number 1 to have intercourse with Sara Miller. Another says that DeHart committed statutory sexual assault when he forced victim 1 to have intercourse with Miller. And according to the statute, in that the above named defendant did engage in sexual intercourse with victim number 1 under the age of 16 years, and that person is 11 or more years older than victim 1, and victim 1 and the defendant are not married to each other. DeHart also faces accusations of incest. Quote, in the above named defendant knowingly marries, cohabitates with, or has sexual intercourse with victim 1, who is an ancestor, descendant, brother, sister of the whole or half-blood, or uncle, aunt, nephew, or niece of the whole blood, and is under the age of 13 years. That might have been a little hard to file, but the complaint specifically states that DeHart is the whole blood father to victim 1. Miller is the whole blood mother to victim 1. And this happened.
Dear God.
And the first, by the way, endangering the welfare of children count comes from the allegations that DeHart locked victim 1 in the basement for hours, pointed a gun at their head. The second count is the allegations from the other 2 victims that DeHart had tried to put them in an oven. And the terroristic threat charge comes from the allegation that DeHart pointed a gun at the victim's head and said, "This is a warning." Sarena, talk to me about...
Man, you about to burn in hell for that one. Sin, thank you.
These charges. I think, first of all, how serious they are, what we're looking at as a penalty, but also, how are they able to be brought? There's no...
hopefully a volcano.
Time bar here. There's no statute of limitations, even though these are offenses that allegedly happened a long time ago.
Yeah, so these are very, very serious charges carrying potential decades in prison, thankfully.
The rest of their miserable lives, please.
The indictment and the fact that the prosecution has thrown this many charges at the case, it tells me that they wanted to capture every possible bad act that was committed, every possible crime. Why? Because they want to make sure that they get a conviction. It's not, these kinds of cases are so horrifying that juries do tend to convict, but it's also very difficult to have this child, even though this child is now a teenager, take the stand and testify about this traumatic event. And so, they want to protect that conviction. They want to put as many charges as possible so that if they don't get one, if they can't prove, 3 or 4 of them beyond a reasonable doubt, they'll at least still have many to choose from in order to sentence these individuals appropriately if and when they are convicted. Statute of limitations is a very interesting concept, especially with respect to child sex abuse and rape, and has recently been changed in order to allow more cases to proceed that otherwise would have been barred by the statute of limitations. Even though these incidents happened a while ago, like you mentioned, 2011 to 2013, the statute of limitations on this type of case allows for the prosecution and even a civil lawsuit much later in life. Why? Because lawmakers understand now that children do delay in disclosing these kinds of horrible events, and we don't want society to suffer, and we don't want to preclude that child, now an adult or almost an adult, to be able to seek justice for what happened to them so long ago.
Yeah.
So we are allowed to proceed at this point.
And that makes a total sense. And
thank God Montreal wanted to come and say hi, y'all. I needed a cute kitten to lift my spirits out of this hellhole that these 2 crazy people would just put me in. Okay. There you go. She's blind, y'all, in one eye and half blind in the other.
Talking about the penalty.
She doesn't know what the hell is going on.
Penalty. I think rape of a child in and of itself is 20 years in prison, the maximum. And if they're convicted across the board of everything, or they plead guilty to everything, I imagine the judge would issue consecutive sentences one after the other, so that they're never released. But this is where it gets interesting, because Miller, faces similar charges minus the terroristic threats and endangering the welfare of a child. But there's more to this story, because Miller and DeHart have previously been convicted of child abuse. That's what we were talking about. DeHart has a very active...
Oh, my God.
You what?
So they already knew that.
Online presence. He posts TikTok videos several times a week. According to his personal website, he's a poet, film writer, novelist, social activist, pastor. He
You what?
Also claims to be a former police and corrections officer, but he's previously been convicted in Pennsylvania of endangering the welfare of a child in 2013, indecent sexual intercourse with a minor, and endangering the welfare of children in 2014. He entered guilty pleas in both cases.
What? What the fuck?
How does he have them still? Man, you are crazy as hell. Love Nola, thank you for the off the grid action. Thank you for the cash app. Very sweet of you. Dear God.
He was sentenced to 6 to 12 months in prison for the 2013 conviction and 4 to 8 years for the 2014 conviction. He also had to register as a sex offender. That's our understanding. And then with Sarah Lee Miller, doesn't seem to have much of an online presence, but we were able to find her criminal record. And the reports indicate that she pleaded guilty in 2014 to corruption of minors, was sentenced to 11 to 23 months in prison with 4 years probation. She was charged again in 2017 when she didn't register as a sex offender with state police. So she was sentenced to 10 to 36 months in prison. How are they out to do this? That's my question. How were they out to allegedly do this? I know these are
unfreaking believable.
Bruh.
allegations. I know they're innocent until proven guilty, but how were they out?
How were they out, and how were they allowed to have their children living with them?
Yeah.
It is horrifying. It is
Dear
insane. Both of them are sex offenders. I mean, DeHart can call himself whatever he wants, a poet, a police officer, but
Loser.
he's going to be known in his own history as a pedophilic sex offender. So, you know,
Gross.
that's who he is, and that is who his wife is as well, or Sarah Miller, who I thought there was also some talk about her being his stepdaughter at some point. There is something very, very wrong going on in that home. And I don't know how they were out to be able to commit
legally speaking. Why I don't get it. Why was the punishment right for those crimes? Was it sufficient? Was there nothing more that could have been done? Sometimes that's the way it works, but it just seems to me that I don't know how children were left in their care, how they were able to not be monitored, how they were out to be free. Hindsight, I know, is 2020, but that from a legal point of view, were what they were convicted of or what they pled guilty to, did that make sense?
This is a failure of the criminal justice system right here.
Oh my God. Yeah.
This is just a complete failure. You have cases, I had, as a prosecutor, sex crimes prosecutor, you have different types of sex crimes cases. You just do. And some are more horrific than others. And you're right. There's no crystal ball necessarily.
Davis, thank you.
But there are.
Bless me, Mimi's. Thank you.
Features of certain defendants and certain cases that make you think and make you very concerned about the future. And yes, even after they were released from prison, both of them, they had to register as a sex offender. And in order to do that, there is a hearing. It's called a SORA hearing, Sex Offender Registry Act hearing, where a judge determines the level sex offender that they have to be. And that determines how long they have to register for. Oftentimes it's for the rest of your life, and what kind of supervision they will be exposed to. And so in my mind, these two individuals who already committed absolutely depraved acts should have been supervised. I don't know where Child Protective Services were with respect to these children who have now come out and said that they were abused.
Oh God.
It is a complete embarrassment and failure of our system.
And as I said, one of the worst cases we have ever covered here on Sidebar. Sarena Townsend, really thank you for coming on. I know this is not easy to talk about. I think I'm just angry. I think that's the best way to explain. I'm just really angry, but appreciate you breaking it down for us, coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Unfreaking believable. Y'all, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. We got 100 and how many did we got? 100, almost 150,000 likes. Thank you so much. Give me 2 seconds. I got to share the next pictures up. Hold on 1 second. Y'all's going to pause just for a second. Don't go anywhere. YouTube and Rumble, y'all hit the thumbs up button because we don't have on Rumble, especially. How many likes do we have on Rumble? It was like 30 something. Y'all, 30. We got almost 300 or 225 people watching. 35 likes. Ah! And YouTube, it's like 60 something. So you guys are killing it over on YouTube. Thank you so much. All right. That case was sick. So I hope these two can burn in hell. Because that is unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Y'all, come over to YouTube if you want to watch the videos with us. Just search The Mystery Project. It's on the screen up there. Okay, so let's learn about this lady. Let's see what the hell happened here.
In a quiet Florida retirement community, a shocking discovery.
I didn't know it was stolen.
A homeless woman, the suspect at the heart of a gruesome double homicide.
Oh, God.
I'm homeless right now.
When was the last time you went to Florida?
I'm asking you a question and then you answer me with one.
A couple in their golden years living a peaceful life meet a tragic end. It's a case with far more questions than answers. Who brutally murdered them in their own home on New Year's Eve and why?
On New Year's Eve?
The lakeside at Waterman Village Retirement Community is located in Mount Dora, Florida. It's known as a haven of tranquility and joy for its residents.
Oh,
This
Lord.
home is where 83-year-old Darryl Getman and his wife, 80-year-old Sharon, decided to live out their retirement years. They were known for their kindness and contributions to the community. Sharon was a dedicated volunteer, and Darryl loved participating in social activities, staying active and spending time with their many friends and their beloved cat Cash. Darryl and Sharon were always eager to help when friends or family were in need. But on December 30th, 2022, at 3 p.m., a woman described as wearing a very unique outfit, who was not a resident at Waterman Village, was spotted by security and escorted off the premises through a rear entrance since her access was not authorized. At 4:14 p.m., surveillance footage captures the woman in the area again. Later that night, at around 10:58 p.m., the woman is seen in the footage entering the property for a third time, knocking on a resident's door asking if she can take a shower. The resident activates an emergency alarm, and the woman flees, taking a set of car keys and a mailbox key. At 2:02 a.m., a vehicle belonging to the Getmans is seen leaving the retirement community on surveillance footage. About 10
Dear God.
minutes later, the woman attempts to return to the property but is stopped by security and leaves. The next afternoon, at around 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve, concerned by the Getmans' open garage, residents contacted the police. Officers with the Mount Dora Police Department responded to 2 separate 911 calls reporting that 2 people had been killed at the Lakeside Waterman Village Retirement Community. Upon arriving at the address, first responders say they noticed the garage was empty and the door had been left open. Inside the home, police discover the bodies of Sharon and Darryl Getman. Sharon was found lying in a t-shirt and underwear in the entryway of their home among a pool of blood and white towels, suggesting a futile attempt to clean up or render aid. Darryl's body,
Oh my God.
bearing severe head and facial trauma, lay with a sizable butcher-style knife embedded in his abdomen. The numerous bloody bare footprints
Oh my God.
visible on the floor suggested a single attacker, as Sharon did not have any blood on her bare feet, and Darryl had been wearing gray slippers and socks. The Getmans' green 2019 Kia Soul car was missing from their garage. Sharon Getman's phone and purse were also nowhere to be found, and her son later told cops that his mother had left her belongings inside the car with the keys in the ignition.
Dear Lord.
Surveillance video pulled from the area showed the vehicle speeding away in the early hours of the following day. The vehicle was noted by an automatic license plate reader in Greenville, South Carolina, around 4:30 p.m., the same day the Getmans'
Jesus.
bodies were discovered.
It's a long ways up.
Police issue bulletins asking other law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for the stolen Kia.
Driver, exit the vehicle!
On January 2nd, 2023, using data from those license plate readers and pings from the GPS on Sharon's phone, authorities ultimately tracked down the Getman stolen car to the parking lot of the Amtrak train station in Savannah, Georgia.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Vickie Lynn Williams, a 50-year-old woman from Savannah who claims to be homeless, is found asleep inside. Williams is arrested and taken into custody.
Holy hell.
Williams told police in Georgia that she was in Savannah the day of the double homicide, that she had not been to Florida since 2019.
Oh, really? How'd you get that car?
And that the car she was found in was loaned to her by a friend. She stated she was walking in Savannah when the friend approached her and offered her the vehicle to sleep in for a few days. Given the evidence outlined and the defense's possible strategies, the case hinges on the strength of the physical evidence linking Williams to the crime scene, the credibility of her statements, and the interpretation of her actions before and after the murders. This makes the interrogator's job even more critical. The case against her is built around the physical evidence linking her to the crime scene, her possession of the stolen car, and the inconsistencies in her statements.
What the
Law
hell?
enforcement focuses their interrogation on how...
What the hell is she wearing? Y'all, by the way, TikTok, if you want to watch the video with us, come over to YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project. YouTube and Rumble. We're live on all 3 platforms right now, YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok. But TikTok, if you want to see the videos, just search The Mystery Project on YouTube. You'll find the page. Or click the link that's in the bio that says YouTube. It takes you right to the page. Because what the hell? Yeah, crazy spacesuit Proverbs. Exactly. That's what it looks like. This lady is crazy. Let's keep going.
Williams came into possession of the victim's...
Oh, and keep tapping the screen like crazy. 150,000 likes. Hell yeah. Let's go for 175,000. And y'all, thanks for the hearts. We're trying to get 25 of them. We're at 12. Hit me with a few more of those hearts, y'all, if you want to. I appreciate the love. You don't have to, but I do appreciate it.
Car, exploring the legitimacy of her claim that it was borrowed from a friend.
Miss Vickie, you okay? Okay. I'm gonna sit right here if that's okay with you. Sure. Is that okay? Again, my name's Angie Smith, okay? And this is my friend Craig.
Craig Beers.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you the detective?
We're both detectives.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. She's with a police department in Florida, Mount Dora Police Department. I'm with Florida Department of Law Enforcement. How many kids do you have?
5.
Holy. Okay, so you're a mom. You married or anything?
Yeah, I have a ring on.
This introduction is aimed at creating a non-threatening environment right from the start. The investigator adopts a soft tone, acknowledging Williams' situation and attempting to build rapport, which could make her more comfortable and possibly more open to sharing information. This part of the conversation is designed to build rapport by engaging in topics about Williams' personal life.
Well, when did you get the car? Okay, today, on the 1st. The 1st? Mm-hmm. Okay. The holiday. Oh, okay. When we're all Happy New Year, right? Where are we going with this? Well, we're just talking right now about that car. I told you it was stolen. Wait a minute, let me finish. Okay. They said it was stolen. I didn't know it was stolen when the keys was given to me.
Taylor, yeah, that was the first case we talked about. We're on the 3rd one now. But if you want to rewatch it, it's on YouTube right now. You can go on YouTube and just rewind it to the beginning of the video and catch the first, like, probably 45 minutes of the live stream.
We just want to talk about that car. And we're no problem. That's all we need to talk about is the car. Yeah, that's why you're here. I'm not here to, be nasty to you. I'm here to talk about that car. Where that car comes from. Here in Savannah, for all I know. Okay. So that's where you got that car, is in Savannah? Okay. That guy told me that he got a spare car for me to use because I've been walking and my feet had, got scaly at the bottom and I've been tired, and he said, well, you could sleep in the car. Okay. So have you been driving the car?
What are you saying, lady?
Yeah.
Y'all, by the way, we're at almost 200 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to y'all. We got 250 people watching on Rumble, and we got 663 people on TikTok. Thanks for the love, y'all. Let's get 200 watching on YouTube, y'all. Come over. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Find it and subscribe.
Okay. So this man, do you know him? I do know him, and he told me that Not to give his information, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay.
His name is Fuller Blue.
Fuller Blue. Okay.
She said his name was Fuller Blue. Can't find it on YouTube. Marcy, you click the link that's in the bio. If you click my face, go to the profile. It says YouTube. Click that, or just search. You should be able to search The Mystery Project, or maybe like The Mystery Project True Crime. You'll find it.
All right. And do you know where Fuller lives?
No.
But this lady just said that the guy she got the car from, his name was Fuller Blue.
You said his name was Fuller Blue? Like F-U-L-L-E-R?
You got it right.
Okay. He's a military dude?
I don't know what branch.
Okay, and he's, how old would you say he is?
I don't know.
Okay. Like me old?
I don't know.
With white hair and stuff?
I hope that's okay with you if I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
When were you gonna return?
He said after the New Year. Because he was out and about for the New Year like I thought everybody else would be.
You didn't think it was a little strange that somebody gave you a car? Okay. Well, somebody give me
Melissa, I got you.
a car.
This approach involves directly presenting or hinting at evidence to gauge the suspect's reaction. In this case, it's the use of GPS tracking on Shanon Getman's phone, which they used to locate the stolen car at a Georgia train station. Seemingly in an attempt to elicit a response, the investigator confronted Williams about the car being from Florida.
Like I said, I just want to know.
Davis for Life says Fuller shit. I see what you did there. Yeah, there's his name was Fuller and his last name is Blue, like the color.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
You crazy as hell for saying that, lady.
That car came from. Because, like I said, it is from Florida, obviously. That's why we're here, right? And it particularly is from Mount Dora.
Never heard of it.
Never been to Mount Dora?
No.
Oh, it's a beautiful little city.
That's nice.
Yeah? Okay. Do you go to Florida?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, do you travel to Florida ever?
I think I need to speak to Georgia, the detective.
Okay.
A Georgia detective? Is there one in mind you have that you want to
I don't know none of them. Because that's whose story I'm supposed to give this information to.
Georgia does not know about the car like we know about the car. Because the car was taken from Florida.
You
And that's
guys
where
need
it's
to talk to George, because I don't know about it either.
Okay. Have you ever been to Florida? Do you have family or anything
You
that
haven't
you
been to
visit?
Florida. Who hasn't been to Florida?
Oh, exactly. And what was the last time you went to Florida?
I'm asking you a question and then you answer me with one. Where's the detectives from Georgia?
We could get one to come in.
Well,
But they're going to ask you the same things about
we need
the
to all
car.
start together.
Okay, and that's what we're trying to figure out is how the car got here. So,
You ready to get the people in here?
They said you had some questions. You just want to talk to one of the guys from Savannah?
Well, I'm starting here because I'm in Savannah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as I
You guys
understand
are the one that got the questions because you got me in handcuffs.
Right. So as I understand it, there was a
She just trying to be a pain in the ass just because.
stolen car. We use a camera system around here that will basically tell us if the tag's been entered as stolen. And the vehicle you were in was one of them. So that's why we were out there looking for the car. We're like, hey, there's a stolen car around here. And, we also found you in it. So we're just trying to figure out, we know stolen cars have been the hustle in Savannah for a minute, right? A lot of times once we find people, and if we do find somebody, we just kind of try to figure out where the car came from, if somebody gave it to them, if it's one of those misunderstandings, like basically what happened. So that's why Savannah's here. The tag also had like a little tag reader. It hit in South Carolina. So today is the 3rd, which is Tuesday. So I guess when we found you, it was Monday yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you stayed in the car last night?
Yes.
At the train station?
Gina, you can't find the YouTube? Y'all, if you click my face, go to the profile. It should have a little link that says YouTube. Just click that. It takes you right over to the Mystery Project. Or just search the Mystery Project True Crime on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's the first one that comes up. Pretty sure.
Okay. And the night before, did you stay there as well at the train station?
Monday, Tuesday, yes, because today is the third, 2 days.
I guess it would be Sunday night.
Yes.
You were at the train station Sunday night?
Yes.
Okay. In the car?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And I guess it would have been Saturday that he gave you the car?
Sunday.
Sunday. So you got it Sunday and then you stayed there Sunday night. And I didn't hear who you said the guy from earlier.
Who?
Who was the guy? Yeah.
Fuller Blue, they wrote it down.
Fuller Blue. Okay. I want to say that name sounds familiar because it's Fuller. I mean, he's from Savannah, right?
Brunswick.
Brunswick?
But he's lived in Savannah.
I'm gonna show you a picture and see if you recognize it.
Yeah.
Who do you recognize in the picture? Just you can look at it.
All right.
No, you're good.
This is crazy.
Who is that?
That's him.
Fuller?
Where'd you get it?
Fuller?
Yeah.
He's been arrested before, so that's a photograph of him.
He's trying to get me in.
Oh, damn. That was actually a real person, y'all. I thought she hella made that name up, but apparently not. That was a legitimate person. Oh, damn. J Block, thanks for the hanging lights. Y'all hit me with the little hearts. TikTok, hit me with some heart action. If you want to, you don't have to. But it is appreciated. Thank you for the love. All right, let's keep going.
Pointing out inconsistencies in the suspect's narrative forces them to address discrepancies and potentially correct their story.
I've seen some addresses that you had used to live in Florida as well or stayed there at some point.
J Block, thanks, man.
I stayed in Jacksonville for a minute, but it wasn't a home.
Jacksonville. Was that this year, last year, a while back?
That was a while back.
Okay. When was the last time you were in Florida?
A while back, like I just told you.
Days, weeks, months?
No. This was a couple years ago.
A couple years ago. Was that the last time you'd been there?
Yeah.
Williams's claim of not being in Florida since 2019.
Nunya? Is it Nunya? Nunya, thank you. So many new people. Y'all, by the way, hit the follow button if you're new here. And come over to YouTube so you can watch the video because they got subtitles on over there.
You what?
I know you can actually read what these people are saying because the audio inside the interrogation rooms kind of sucks.
Contradicted surveillance footage allegedly showing her in the area around the time of the murders.
Do you recognize that photo?
Where are they going?
I don't know. I'm seeing if you can pay attention first to the photo. Do you recognize those shoes?
I got a pair, but that is the only pair.
Oh, what do you mean?
I mean, when they made those pair of shoes that you guys have in the bag that you got off my feet, they didn't break the mold.
That's the same shoes, though?
I think they have them in the mall.
Yeah.
That's where I bought them.
Okay.
Lady, you are crazy as hell.
That photo right there.
What about it?
Do you recognize the person in that photo? No. What about that outfit?
That's not me. That's what you're asking. I mean, everybody has that color.
Okay. The reason I'm asking...
They literally have a picture of this lady, and she's like, that's not me.
Is that just, we talked about finding photographs and stuff, and I was looking what you described as an outfit is the white shoes and the pants you told me you had on, the black pants.
Okay.
The reason Florida's here is because the car itself was taken during an incident from a crime scene.
I did talk to Fuller, and he didn't mention anything about that.
No?
Okay.
You talked to Fuller about what the car?
When he gave me the car, he didn't mention that it was stolen, so that's why I took it.
Okay.
If he would have told me all this, it wouldn't have been in my possession.
Oh, damn. Jessica, yeah, now she knows she's cooked. Exactly.
The detectives encouraged Vickie Lynn Williams to provide a narrative. This approach is
Nurse KK, thank you. Yo, we might get that one. I think we might hit it. Thank you so much for the
A
hearts.
common interrogation strategy intended to elicit information in a non-confrontational manner, allowing the person being questioned to offer explanations that might reveal more about their actions and intentions.
You get coffee, you hang at the bus station, so you talked to a couple people that you didn't know who they were?
Yes.
All right. And then that night, which was New Year's night, tell me where you went then.
That was the 31st.
31st Saturday.
That was.
Davis, thank you.
I started walking around and then I ran into Fuller when I went on the east side.
Which was Sunday, you said, the next
Yeah.
day. Help me out where you were Friday.
Same places. I do the same walk.
Honestly, I mean, this picture looks like you.
Yeah, they say all black people look alike.
No, not at all. I've been in the city.
I'm just saying.
Listen, I've been in the city.
What did she say? Nunya, thank you. Yo, we got like 6 left. Let's get it.
A long time, and you see all kinds of different people, and I don't think all white people look alike. But
that's nice.
But what I'm
nobody does. Nunya, oh my word, few left.
getting at is this picture looks like you, especially you don't have the wig on. Like I told you, I was going to look at different cameras from different hotels and all kind of
Davis, thank you.
different stuff. It doesn't help me when you're saying, "Oh, that ain't me," but if
when it's clearly you, yeah.
I can find stuff that I'm looking for, right? Because you told me you went and got coffee, you told me you were crossing the bus station and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you want to take another look at the photo?
I said no. I mean, not no to the photo, but I'm saying no, that's not me.
I'm asking if you recognize the photo.
No, I don't.
The photos are the owner of the vehicle. Did those people give you the car? And
oh my God.
And you're missing something in your timelines that you're kind of sketchy with it, like you just don't know when.
I never met those people before. This is the first time I've seen this photo.
Yeah. Never met.
You never met those people before, huh?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
You crazy as hell. Just you're caught. Davis for life. So much love tonight. I think we just hit it. We sure did. Thank you so much, y'all.
Before. Every time you've run into him, maybe people don't remember.
You know that looks like you.
He looks like me?
Look at it.
You think back, is there something that you may have run into him you just don't recall at the moment?
I used to work in a medical field and
What the hell? She tried to say it looks like the other detective? You are outside of your mind, lady.
I'm wondering if that could be one of my patients from a long, long time ago. It looks like her. I seen him at Carrie Hilliard when I was sitting there.
Come on. Really?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about it.
He just was sitting there with his wife, but it wasn't the lady that was there. It was another woman with blonde hair.
Are you sure it was that guy?
Yeah. We said Happy New Year to one another, all of us at the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started the conversation. I said, Happy New Year, y'all, and they said it back, and I sat across from them, and we just glanced at each other every now and then while we were eating, and looked like they were enjoying their food. He seemed like a Santa Claus type of guy, like,
yeah.
They looked like they were...
What the fuck? Man, this lady is crazy as hell.
Creeping around.
And you're probably gonna burn in hell for this too. Davis, thank you so much, y'all. So many big roses coming in. Thank you for the love. Nunya, thank you. Oh my word. Thank you for the love, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having fun. Yeah.
If you can help me figure out why you're in this photo, then I can help figure out what's actually going on.
Only thing I can tell you is that's not me.
This is the time to be honest, okay?
Right.
And Sarge is ready to listen to you about you finally being honest, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, I'm telling you, that's what we're looking for. This is you in the photo. You know it. I know it. God knows. Okay.
If you say that,
it is.
Well,
all right.
I say something different. No.
Oh God, you can say whatever you want, lady. Doesn't make it true. Jamie, thanks for the little roses too. Holy macaroni. Man, this is crazy as hell.
Well, hear me out, okay? The people that I showed you, those pictures of, they're dead. I think that's why you recognize that photo and think karaoke come up. And this is the thing.
No, why would I see him at karaoke, then turn around and see him in Florida and not wasn't even there?
The thing is, you weren't.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. If you're tagging and pulling on this,
You don't
the
have-
answer is no, I'm sorry, and I'm not going to say anything else. You're talking to yourself
Oh, Lord.
at this point.
What would you tell me, or what would you say, if the belongings to the people I showed you in the photo, the two people that are no longer on this earth, their belongings were in the car you were in?
Oh, hell. That means you are screwed, lady. By the way, y'all, we need like 24 more subscribers on YouTube to hit 5,000. What? Y'all are insane. We just started doing the YouTube like a month ago, maybe, and we already got 5,000 people over there. TikTok, we got 207,878 followers. You guys are crazy. And Rumble, yesterday we hit 1,000 followers. So this is crazy as hell. So make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, y'all. The YouTube channel is called The Mystery Project, Ashley. It should be on the screen up here, The Mystery Project. Just search The Mystery Project or The Mystery Project True Crime, and you should be able to find it. If not, the link is in the bio, y'all, and you can click my face and then go to the profile, and then there's a little button that says YouTube underneath the bio. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Let's see if we can get 24 more people to subscribe so we can hit 5,000 on this stream.
Any person, a child could look at this like, yeah, that's the same
If
lady.
that's what you're saying, but that's not what I'm saying. And I said,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what you're saying because you're lying, and the photograph is not.
I wasn't there.
Okay. This is your time to tell the truth. And the problem is you're an honest woman. You are. I can tell you're an honest, kind woman. You're just not telling the truth right now. And that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the truth about the car. We know the truth about Fuller. You can tell a very easy, simple, honest truth that will make you feel 1,000 times better if you just say and tell us about this picture. You don't want to tell us about this picture and you sound foolish. You do. And I don't mean that insultingly.
You need to talk to my attorney. I'm done. Because you're saying stuff that is not true about me.
The surveillance footage.
Whoa. You're saying stuff that's not true, huh? That's what you're going to go with?
That showed the woman wandering around Waterman Village around the time of the Getman's murders also showed that woman leaving the Getman's car hours before the couple was found dead. When Williams was shown the screenshots from the surveillance, she repeatedly denied that it was her. She denied knowing the victims and insisted that the slides or shoes found could belong to anyone and that many people have similar shoes.
Okay, maybe people have the similar shoes, but similar shoes with the outfit that you have, and it looks like you, and you are in possession of their car, and inside that car is more of their possessions, lady.
You what?
Give me a break. I mean, come on. And y'all hit the follow button if you're new here to TikTok. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get a push up to 200,000 likes. I think we can do it. And thank you for the big Rosa, y'all. We're trying to get 500 of them. Thank you for the love and the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep going.
However, Williams' parents and son positively identified the person in those images as her. There were also latent palm impressions on the dryer at the Getman's home, and they matched Williams' prints.
There you go. Now they got your handprint. So now you're going to say that like your palm print is different?
As for those bloody bare footprints found at the scene, they had a very distinctive arch, and CSI believed them to be made by a female based on the size and shape of the foot. Sharon's purse and cell phone were discovered inside the car, the exterior of which was stained with what appeared to be blood.
Oh, hell.
On January 18, 2023, the state attorney's office announced that a grand jury had formally indicted Williams on 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of grand theft.
Oh, snap. See? And y'all, we got 11 more subscribers to hit 5,000. Nope, 10 more. Y'all, 10 more people. Come over and find the Mystery Project on YouTube and subscribe. Let's keep going.
Despite the circumstantial evidence provided by her possession of the stolen car and her alleged presence near the crime scene, there's no concrete evidence directly tying Williams to the murders themselves. There are no known connections between Williams and the Getmans. According to police, one possible motive is robbery, perhaps opportunistic following her claims of hardship and homelessness. On February 27, 2023, prosecutors with Florida's 5th Judicial District State Attorney's Office filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty against Vickie Lynn Williams, citing aggravating factors that they believe they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt to establish that the double murder was a capital offense.
Ooh.
Each factor not only underscores the severity of the crime, but also provides insight into what might have motivated the attacker according to the prosecution's perspective. The first factor is a previous conviction for a violent felony. This implies that Williams has a history of violent behavior, suggesting that if she is responsible for the murders, they may not have been an isolated incident, but rather possibly a pattern of alleged violence.
Oh, hell.
Second is that the murders were especially heinous and cruel. The ferocious manner of the murders suggests that the perpetrator may have been driven by more than just the intent to kill. This factor implies a possible motive of deriving satisfaction from the suffering of the victims.
Oh my God.
Indicating a level of malice and disregard for human life far beyond that of a simple murder. Third, the victims were particularly vulnerable. The victims' ages and vulnerability suggest that the perpetrator might have specifically chosen the Getmans because they were easier targets, indicating a calculated approach to the crime. This factor implies a motive of exploitation, where the perpetrator took advantage of the victims' inability to defend themselves. The fourth factor is the murders were committed during the commission of another felony, in this case, robbery. This indicates that the murders were instrumental in the completion of another crime, implying that the perpetrator was motivated by the desire to rob the Getmans. This suggests a willingness to use extreme violence to
get what they want.
Financial or material benefits, highlighting greed or desperation as potential motives.
You were charged with 1 count of grand theft, statutory property.
But when prosecutors decide to seek the death penalty, particularly by citing specific aggravating factors, it doesn't necessarily mean they have an abundance of evidence. However, a solid evidentiary basis is crucial to seeking the death penalty. As Williams awaits trial, numerous questions remain unanswered. Why was the killer barefoot? Was the door answered, or was the attacker already inside for some reason? Did the attacker have a moment of remorse or panic upon realizing the gravity of their actions? Or was there an interrupted attempt by Darryl Getman to help his wife, subsequently leading to his own attack? What was the exact nature of Vickie Lynn Williams' previous violent conviction, and what impact will it have on the case? A profile of Vickie Lynn Williams emerges marked by significant life challenges, including homelessness and potential mental health issues. The identification by her mother and son in surveillance footage suggests estrangement from family. This case highlights the complexities of criminal investigations where evidence, motive, and opportunity do not always align neatly, leaving room for speculation, further investigation, and the pursuit of justice in the face of tragedy. As the ongoing investigation unfolds, the heart of the inquiry remains not just in proving the what and the how, but in uncovering the elusive why, providing a somber reminder of the unpredictability and, at times, the incomprehensibility of human actions.
Jesus. My God. That poor old couple, elderly couple, just wanted to go about their retirement years, work their whole damn life to have their Kia Soul stolen and their lives stolen as well. Unfucking believable. Y'all talk about lives being stolen. Let's talk about Corey Richins. Y'all remember this one? This is the Utah mom that they believe took her husband's life. And then a year later, she wrote a book about it, talking about dad's in the clouds. He's on a different plane. Remember this one? Y'all, this is crazy as hell. But apparently she appeared in court for a 2-day hearing to determine whether there's enough evidence to for bond, it looks like. So let's go. Let's take a listen to this. Y'all, YouTube and Rumble, make sure you guys hit the like button on both platforms. YouTube especially. Come on, YouTube. We could get 100 likes. We have quite a few people watching, and we've got 85 likes. Rumble, we got 43 and 250 people watching. Oh, my God. TikTok, 600 people still. Hell yeah. I love you guys. And TikTok, hit me with the little the Rosa thingies, the big roses. We're trying to get 500 of them if you want to. You don't have to. Support the show. All right, let's go. Here we go. Corey Richens.
So my husband passed away unexpectedly last year. So it's March 4th was a 1-year anniversary for us.
Corey Richens, the Utah mom and children's book author, accused of murdering her husband for life insurance money. Prosecutors are laying out part of their case in new court documents. I have the bombshell details with a representative from Eric Richens' family. Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Corey Richens will be back in court this week for a 2-day preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the judge will hear testimony to determine whether there's enough evidence to bound Corey Richens over for trial. Prosecutors just have to show there's probable cause that Richens committed the crimes. That's a very low bar. They're outlining some of their case in a 32-page filing. Prosecutors say Corey Richens killed Eric Richens on March 3rd or 4th of 2022 by poisoning him with fentanyl. But a month earlier, on Valentine's Day, she had tried to do the same thing, according to prosecutors, but
exactly
failed. Prosecutors say Richens bought fentanyl from a person identified as Witness 4 that month. But let's go back to the very beginning of this story.
Unreal. True Crime with Megan. Good to see you. Long time no see. Thanks for the heart me.
Corey and Eric Richens were married in 2013, and they had a prenuptial agreement. Corey sold real estate in South Carolina, but then opened her own real estate venture, Corey Richens Real Estate, in 2019. Richens flipped houses and funded this venture using a $250,000 home equity line of credit from a home that Eric Richens owned prior to marrying Corey. This is what prosecutors are saying in these documents. Prosecutors say it appeared on the outside that Corey Richens' real estate business was doing well, but really? They say a forensic accountant will testify that she was borrowing money at high interest rates to fund this venture. At one point in 2021, prosecutors say Richens defaulted on a loan and was sued by Greengrass Holdings 3 months before Eric Richens died. And according to prosecutors, Eric Richens didn't know that Corey took out that $250,000 home equity line of credit at the time until someone at his bank told him much later.
Oh my God. Angie, thank you for the roses. True Crime with Megan, thank you.
Prosecutors cite an October 2020 text message exchange between Richens and a friend where Richens wrote, "I don't know what to do. If he thinks that I owe him money, then that's fine. I'll pay whatever he thinks and then I'm out. It's getting a little out of hand." The friend asked, "How much did you take out?" Richens responded, "A lot." The friend then asked, "How long do you think it would take to pay it back?" Richens responded, $250,000. It will take me a couple of months until my investments pay out, so I just gotta be top-notch careful. But there's nothing more important to me than the
Oh my God.
boys and making sure custody is always going to be at least 50-50. And if he digs and digs and finds something, I don't want him hiring some expensive attorney to fight for the kids or something. Now, prosecutors...
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Corey Richens, you are crazy.
Say there's a really big problem with that text message. They say a forensic accountant will testify that at the time, Corey Richens didn't have any investments that she could sell or cash in to pay back that loan, and it was over advanced to $254,000. Remember, it was originally $250,000. On the day Eric Richens died, prosecutors say that Corey Richens owed $3.1 million. She had purchased more properties and borrowed more money, but she wasn't making any money. At the time Eric Richens died in March of 2022, prosecutors say his estate was worth $5 million and his life was insured for more than $2 million. On top of this financial mess, which sounds like an absolute nightmare, prosecutors say Corey Richins was having an affair. Prosecutors quote witness 8, identified as saying Corey Richins feared.
Oh my God, Corey, you are crazy as hell.
Clank, diddy, clank, diddy, clank, clank, clank.
You out there clanking it up?
Be gone, such!
You are crazy. And now you say, oh my God, I'm going to pay him back with all these fake investments.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
You can burn in hell.
Leaving Eric Richins would be difficult, and his family would use their considerable wealth to fight her for custody of the kids. Witness 8 said in December of 2021, Richards said that it would be better if Eric was dead. The following day, prosecutors say Richins texted her paramour, "I'm in love with a man that's not my husband. I want to, but I can't break up my family. It's having our cake and eating it too. I do just want to love you." Then in January of 2022, prosecutors say someone accessed a $2 million life insurance policy for the business partner of Eric Richins. This was done online, changing the beneficiary to Corey Richins and then back to Eric Richins. Prosecutors believe Corey didn't realize the policy was actually for the business partner, so she put her name in there and then swapped it back. That same month, prosecutors say Corey consulted a divorce lawyer, but ended those talks telling her brother she didn't want half of everything, but wanted to walk away, quote, clean and free. Then prosecutors say that Corey Richins,
oh my God, lady, you are crazy for that.
Started researching illicit drugs and asking people how to get fentanyl. In late January, prosecutors say Corey Richins took out a $100,000 insurance policy on Eric Richins, forging his signature and having those documents sent to her P.O. box. Then on Valentine's Day, prosecutors say Corey Richins poisoned takeout food that she bought for Eric Richins with fentanyl pills that a friend had purchased from someone else identified as Witness 5. Eric Richins texted a person identified as Witness 1, according to prosecutors. This person was a close friend, and it was 1:59 p.m. Quote, "You almost lost me." Richins told the friend that Corey Richins had given him a sandwich with a note, that he had eaten part of it and then broken out in hives, and he tried to treat himself at home with one of his kids' EpiPens and Benadryl. Then
holy hell.
12 minutes later, after that 1:59 p.m. text, at 2:11 p.m., Richins called another friend identified as Witness 2 and said, quote, "I think I almost died. I think my wife tried to poison me." Richins had become ill and blacked out. The judge in the case voiced interest in those comments at a hearing this week. Take a listen.
I am most acutely interested in defense's position regarding Witness 1 and Witness 2, especially 1:59 p.m. for Witness 1 and 2:11 p.m. for Witness 2.
I'll make sure to address that.
Okay.
Prosecutors say Eric Richins tried to text Corey that afternoon, but she didn't answer. And then she continued to plan for a life without Eric Richins. The next day, Corey Richins texted the paramour, according to prosecutors, this is all in their document, quote, "If I were divorced right now and asked you to marry me tomorrow, you would? And I just want to lay on the couch and cuddle you, watch a murder documentary and snuggle." The following month, prosecutors say Corey Richins carried out her ultimate goal of poisoning and killing Eric Richins. Prosecutors
Sweet Jesus.
say Corey's cell phone showed her movements did not match the story that she told detectives about that night. Richins later wrote a children's book for her children about grief.
It's just comforting to them to know that, you know, they're not living this life alone. Like, Dad is still here. It's
oh, Lord. You're going to have to explain that one to your kids, too, when they get older. About how you did it and then you wrote that stupid book. Oh, my God.
just in a different way.
Greg Skordas is the spokesperson for Eric Richins' family. Greg, how is the family doing leading up to this hearing?
I think they're really happy right now because the case has been pending, as you know, for a year.
We are finally getting to the preliminary hearing, which will be tomorrow. And the state has issued what they call a pretrial brief or a pre-hearing brief to kind of outline what their case is. It's a long document, but it really spells out the evidence that they intend to put forward, the witnesses that they intend to call. And I think it gives us all, from the Eric Richins side, some consolation that the state has a very good case, some feeling that the state has put together a very strong case. And of course, we're just at the preliminary hearing stage, so the state doesn't have to show all of their cards and all of their witnesses, but what they've shown us so far is very compelling.
And I was going to ask your feelings about the brief because it is very detailed. There's a lot of information in there, a lot of text messages back and forth, witness statements. One thing the judge seemed particularly interested in, and it could be considered hearsay at trial, but it would be admissible at the preliminary hearing, are these phone calls that Eric Richins made and the text messages from February 14th of 2022, in which one was at 1:59. He tells a friend, like, "You almost lost me. I think my wife tried to poison me." And then 13 minutes later, he calls somebody and explains this incident with the sandwich and things like that. And then there are all these text messages they outline with Corey Richins and her alleged lover, where she's talking about wanting to be with this person, the issues with the real estate company and being in such, extreme debt. There's a lot in there, Greg, that really paints a picture of a woman who was desperate.
Right. And the irony, of course, is that this is Valentine's Day and she's literally poisoning her husband and being with her paramour at the same time. I mean, talk about the irony of this. And the state really, they did it. They had a forensic accountant go through just exactly what you said, all of the financial issues that she was having. I mean, she was upside down $1 million or more and had other debtors coming after her. I mean, she had so many reasons.
Dear God, yes, she was like $2.1 million in debt
to have Eric killed, and they were almost all financial. Of course,
Cat Dog, good to see you. Thanks for the Rosa. Y'all, we're gonna hit it.
Recently, like you said about the boyfriend, that was a twist we had heard about, we thought we knew about, but maybe now hearing it straight from the horse's mouth is going to make this state's case even stronger as it relates to her motive, both financial and with respect to her lover.
How big of an issue in the relationship? I mean, of course, there was this prenuptial agreement that is discussed in the documents. So they had the prenup. They were married in 2013. Then she starts the real estate business. She wants to buy up more properties. I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks successful, but the forensic accountant is going to testify that it wasn't successful. She's taking out these awful high interest loans. I mean, she can't keep up with the payments. Then she wants to buy this monster property in Midway and try to flip it. And that didn't work out for her. So how big of a stressor was this whole issue of the big property in Midway as far as the family knows on the relationship?
Dear God. How are you going to get into that business and not know what the hell you're doing and then just keep getting more and more and bigger and bigger and bigger and think you're just going to figure it out that way? Oh my God. Corey, you should have been flipping burgers, not flipping houses. Jesus.
You what? It was huge because Eric never wanted that property. It was a monstrosity, and it was obviously a very beautiful home. They call it the mansion. It was worth several $1 million, but it was in an area that wouldn't support that kind of value. It was really out of its place. And he thought that there was no way they were going to just flip it and make $1 million. It wasn't going to happen because that particular part of the state doesn't justify a $2.5 or $3 million home.
Holy hell. And guess what? He did have a successful business. Wasn't he like he had like a stonework, like masonry business?
So yeah, that was a big problem. But again, she's trying to get her real estate career going. She's trying to make some money flipping houses.
Get it going? Oh my God. Start by selling some shitholes, okay? Start by selling some really crappy spots first. Get your feet wet. Build it up. Don't go crazy and then be in so much debt that you have to figure out a way to unalive your freaking husband so that you could try to pay for it.
She was obviously horrible at it, and he was trying to be a supportive husband, notwithstanding that she's just bleeding their accounts dry.
You said that the family suspected that there was a boyfriend, but didn't know about this. And the text messages appear to make it pretty clear. I mean, we're at the preliminary hearing stage. This is a very low bar that the state has to meet to get over that hurdle to be bound over for trial, probable cause. But you're saying they suspected it, but didn't know. Now you found out there was indeed a boyfriend. There was somebody else in the picture, and this person thought a divorce was on the horizon, according to the text messages.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I mean, she made clear to the boyfriend that she needed to get out of the marriage, and there were a lot of texts between the two of them about, well, I want to make sure I can preserve my relationship with my children. I don't want to lose custody. And really a lot of conversations, not just with the boyfriend, but with her own family, that Eric was worth a lot more dead than divorced. And you stated a reason earlier, Anjanette, which is that there was a prenuptial agreement. And that prenuptial agreement provided that he had certain assets that he would get if they got divorced. But if he died, those assets would turn over to her. So, yeah, he was worth much, much more to her dead than divorced.
Also, there was this talk about her taking out an extra life insurance policy for $100,000 in the time leading up to his death. So, I mean, that I would assume goes to a premeditation aspect of this. She, of course, says that she didn't do this. She's pleaded not guilty. There's been some talk that maybe, the suggestion is that Eric had used drugs or
what the fuck?
Lady.
Accidentally overdosed.
Yeah, I mean, she's pled not guilty, and obviously she's presumed innocent, but Eric was not a drug user. He was a very healthy man. He was an outdoorsman. He supported his children in their athletic endeavors as a coach. He liked the outdoors here in that part of the state, hunting and fishing. He would not have abused his body in any way, and there's no evidence that he did. I mean, there was some conversation that he had tried some gummies or something, but in terms of opioids, fentanyl, there's just no evidence to support that he ever.
Oh, shit, not them gummies, y'all.
How dare you?
Ever used drugs like that.
How are the kids doing, the three boys?
They're with family members. They're doing very well. They're in a very loving environment. They're still in the general area where they had been raised with Eric. By all accounts, they're going to be doing just fine, and they're going to be taken care of by a loving and a very extended family in that part of the state.
Greg Skordas will be watching the hearing closely. Thank you so much for coming on. We hope to have you back.
Oh, man, Corey. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It is not looking good for you. That's some crazy shit I didn't even know about. The boyfriend? Oh, no.
What? What the fuck?
Corey. Well, YouTube and Rumble, y'all, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the follow button on Rumble. Y'all, we're like 2 views away. Never mind. We hit 1,000 views on this YouTube video before we even ended. And we need 1 more subscriber to hit 5,000. Y'all, everybody watching on TikTok right now, go over to The Mystery Project on YouTube. Search The Mystery Project or The Mystery Project True Crime. And go subscribe. We're at 4,999.
You what?
So close. Let's get 1 more subscriber. Let's hit 5,000 on this stream. Shout out to Rumble. We hit 1,000 yesterday as well. You guys are insane. 5,001, y'all. Let's go. Thank you so much. YouTube, hit the like button real quick. I'm gonna end the stream for YouTube and Rumble, you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. And we'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Pacific time. I love you guys. Leave a comment after this.